Hi there. This workout that we're going to go through is one for the glutes. So you only need one piece of equipment, and we're going to be using our hip circle. You can get these off Amazon for like a couple of quid. You normally get a full set, but if you just get the one, that's perfect. If, however, you haven't got one and you're waiting for it to be delivered, or you just don't want to order one, then you can do it without, but definitely recommend get yourself a hip circle to make it even more effective. Other than that, we just need a little bit of floor space. Nothing else. That is it. So, before we go into any glute work, one thing that we do need to do is take advantage of our hip mobility. We need to maximize that as much as possible. Otherwise, we're just going to be jamming our muscles and not, trying to activate through a range of motion that we can't access in the first place. So, first thing to do is make sure you can fully access your range of movement at the hip. Then we can maximize our glute activation. So, assuming that you have done that, if you haven't, go and do your hip activation. Or hip mobility rather. So, squeezing the hips through, stretching out the hip flexors, get your lean in, go through the world's greatest stretch, which is this one. Go through those cycles, work your mobility and improve your hip mobility before you come to this. Now, the way we're going to start is place the band around the top of the knee. Make sure it's smooth, so it's not all scrunched up and it's going to pinch the knee. Now, what we're going to do is start with clams. So that's lying down on our sides. Now, what I'd recommend is if you can do this against the wall, that's going to make sure that your hips don't roll away and you don't end up opening out and rolling around. We want to make sure that we're using the glutes and you're flat against that wall. So we're squeezing that leg up, controlling down. We want 12 to 20 reps at a slow tempo. So squeeze up, high as you can, control down. Okay, now once you've done your 12 to 20 reps, we're going to stay on the same side. We're going to stay on the side and we're going to straighten the leg. And what we need to do is point your toes and turn your big toe towards the floor slightly. And then you're going to work that slight leg raise and you're squeezing backwards slightly. So I'm going that way a little bit. Imagine it's on a diagonal line. And I'm squeezing this knee into the floor. Just drawing that leg up. Again, same tempo. I'm not counting, but again, working 12 to 20. Okay, so once you've done those reps, you're going to come onto your front. I'm going to spin this way around so that you can see me properly. And you're going to be face down. So this is kind of the first evolution of this exercise. It's probably the most basic one, but we're going to go with it for now. So you're going to be relaxed in a prone position. And what you're going to do is look to extend at the hip and lift that leg off the floor and out to the side. So again, it's working on that diagonal. So we're pushing the leg up and that way. And again, 12 to 20 reps. Keep pointing your toes. That's going to help switch off the hamstrings. And make sure that we're really using the glutes. So I'm still doing this all on one side. So I'm still all on my left leg. And then once we've done those prone contractions, the next one is the bridge. And that's just flat to our back. You're going to keep your hip, knee and ankle all in the same line. So we're not dropping the knees out to the side or bending them inwards. We're keeping them fixed directly in between the hips and the ankles. And we're going to do the same thing, squeeze up. We'll get a little pull inwards from the band, squeezing the glutes, keeping the knees in a fixed position, control down. And again, we're working 12 to 20 reps, just looking to build that tension I know we might be a little bit uneven at this point and a little bit lopsided, but we'll catch up because we're going to flip over to our right side next. And we'll finish with the glute bridges again, so right side's getting equal work. So again, if you haven't done your hip flexor or your hip mobility to start with, you're not going to be able to get the hips up. I'm smacking headbutting the sofa. You're not going to be able to get the hips up and access that full range of movement. So we need to make sure that we're nice and loose in the hips, and then we can extend our hips as much as possible. Now, if you're wondering why it's important, well, it's the only way that we move forward and stop. If you go up and down stairs, try and stand up out of a chair, you need your glutes. So get to work on this minimum once a day, build that glute strength, keep working on that hip mobility, and that's going to help you out with all kinds of things. It's going to prevent injuries in sport, it's going to save knees, it's going to save your low back, it's going to prevent loads of hip issues further down the line. So do the work now and reap the rewards later. I'll see you again with another video. Peace.